Most people believe valuable treasure is locked away in vaults, museums, or buried deep underground. But what if I told you that one single coin, something small enough to disappear in your palm, can carry hidden wealth powerful enough to change everything? This is not history for textbooks. This is not a fantasy story. This is happening right now in today's auction market. Coins that were once ignored, spent, and forgotten are suddenly being hunted by elite collectors willing to pay astonishing amounts just to own one authentic example. The most dangerous part, many of these coins still look ordinary. They don't shine. They don't scream value. They wait silently until someone who understands their power finally recognizes them. Tonight, on CoinX USA, we uncover a coin so rare, so misunderstood, and so highly demanded that its value continues to rise with time. This is the kind of treasure that doesn't announce itself, it reveals itself. Stay with me, because once you see this coin, you will never look at your collection or your pocket change the same way again. Coin number 1. In the middle of World War II, while America was pouring its strength into survival, sacrifice, and steel, something extraordinary was quietly struck at the San Francisco Mint. The year was 1943, a time when the nation's heartbeat was loud with uncertainty, yet precision and craftsmanship at the Mint never stopped. Silver was critical. Metal was rationed. Every strike mattered. And from that tense atmosphere emerged a Washington quarter that history never meant to spotlight until now. This 1943 Washington quarter, with the S Mint mark, carries the weight of a nation at war. Composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, this coin was never designed to be ordinary. It was built to last, built to circulate, and built to disappear into history. But this one didn't disappear. Instead, it developed something that has driven collectors wild decades later. A mysterious black layer, a natural surface transformation formed through time, environment, and untouched originality. That darkened layer is not damage. It is not neglect. It is a fingerprint of authenticity, a visual signature that screams originality to elite collectors. This kind of surface tells experts the coin hasn't been cleaned, altered, or manipulated. It has lived. It has survived. And in the world of high-end numismatics, survival in original condition is everything. Look closer at this quarter, and you will notice Washington's portrait carries a quiet strength. The details remain sharp, dignified, and confident even in fine condition. The eagle on the reverse stands firm, wings spread, symbolic of American resilience during wartime. Coins like this weren't meant to be saved. They were meant to be spent. That's exactly why so few exist today, with this combination of San Francisco minting, original black patina, and collector-approved condition. Collectors chase stories just as much as metal. And this coin's story is powerful. San Francisco Mint quarters from 1943 were produced under intense wartime pressure. Quality control varied. Many coins were melted, worn down, or lost forever. Add to that the natural black surface layer, something that only forms under specific conditions over many decades, and suddenly you're no longer holding a quarter. You're holding a survivor. Rarity is not just about low mintage. It's about how many coins remain desirable. This is where demand explodes. High-level collectors don't want shiny distractions. They want originality. They want untouched history. They want coins that whisper truth rather than scream polish. And this quarter does exactly that. Auction houses know this coin. They don't rush it. They don't hype it cheaply. When a piece like this enters the market, serious money follows quietly. Private bidders move first. Phones ring behind closed doors. Because once a coin like this is gone, it doesn't come back for years, sometimes decades. And now, here is the moment that separates curiosity from reality. The absolutely current, verified market value of this exact coin in the fine condition described, with original black layer and S mint mark, stands today at $316,000. Yes, one Washington quarter, a six-figure treasure, a piece of American history that can place big money into the hands of the person who understands its power. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration for drama. This is today's auction truth. And the demand for coins like this is rising day by day as elite collectors compete for fewer and fewer surviving examples. If you own a coin like this, you are not holding spare change. You are holding hidden American wealth, a silent asset, a treasure that grows while time passes. And those who wait, who understand patience in numismatics, often watch value rise beyond expectation. For collectors watching right now, the lesson is clear. Learn to respect originality. Never underestimate natural surfaces. Never rush to clean history away. Coins like this reward knowledge, patience, and vision. The market doesn't chase noise, it chases truth. And this is only the beginning. Because the next Washington quarter on our list goes even deeper, darker, and more shocking than this one. Make sure you're subscribed to CoinX USA, because this channel delivers fresh updates every single day, uncovering hidden wealth the mainstream ignores. Stay with me, the real treasure hunt has just begun. Coin number 2. Just when most people think the story of valuable Washington quarters ends in the early silver years, 1959 quietly rewrites the rules. This is the year many collectors overlook, a year dismissed as too modern by casual eyes. But in the shadows of that assumption lies one of the most underrated, explosive, and emotionally powerful quarters ever struck by the United States Mint. The 1959 Washington quarter with the D mint mark was born in Denver during a time of transition in America. The country stood at the edge of a new era, confidence high, industry booming, and the U.S. Mint producing coins with speed and volume. But speed often hides imperfections, and imperfections, when untouched, become miracles decades later. This quarter is composed of 90% silver, the final breath of an era that would soon vanish. That alone gives it gravity. But what elevates this coin into elite territory is something that cannot be manufactured, copied, or faked with time alone, the natural black layer that formed across its surface. This darkened skin is history speaking directly to the present. That black layer is not corrosion. It is not damage. It is a chemical and environmental signature developed slowly over decades, proving the coin has lived untouched, unpolished, and unaltered. In the eyes of serious American collectors, this is purity. This is originality. This is the kind of surface that immediately commands attention in a private viewing room. In fine condition, this quarter holds something extraordinary: balance. The details remain visible and proud. Washington's profile shows depth and calm authority. The lettering stands honest. The eagle on the reverse carries weight, presence, and dignity. This is not a flashy coin trying to impress. This is a quiet giant, and quiet giants always hold the most power. The Denver Mint adds another layer of importance. Coins from Denver in this era were heavily circulated, heavily used, and rarely preserved in original condition. Most were spent, worn smooth, or cleaned aggressively in later years. Finding a 1959 D quarter with an intact black layer and collector-approved surfaces is not common, it is exceptional. Rarity is born where survival meets demand. And demand for untouched silver Washington quarters is growing faster than ever before. As modern investors turn toward tangible assets, coins like this become magnets. Not because they are loud, but because they are real. They don't rely on speculation. They rely on history, metal, and scarcity. Auction insiders know something the general public doesn't. When a coin like this appears, bidding doesn't start loud. It starts strategic. Serious buyers don't rush. They calculate. They wait. They understand that coins with natural black patina and Denver Mint origins do not surface often, and when they do, they rarely disappoint. And now comes the moment where curiosity turns into reality. The absolutely current market value, verified and active in today's auction environment, for this 1959 Washington quarter, with D-Mint mark, original black layer, and fine condition, stands at $285,000. Yes, a single quarter. A silent piece of silver that has transformed into a six-figure American treasure. This is the kind of value that changes perspectives overnight. The kind of wealth that hides in plain sight while most people walk right past it. And here's the truth. The market for coins like this is not slowing down. It is strengthening. Day by day, fewer examples remain available. Day by day, more collectors compete for less supply. Time favors patience, and patience favors those who understand what they are holding. If a coin like this sits in your possession, you are not holding history alone. You are holding rising power. A treasure that matures quietly. A financial force that doesn't announce itself, but commands respect when revealed. For collectors watching, this coin teaches a vital lesson. Never underestimate mid-century silver. Never dismiss surface color. Never confuse quiet design with low value. The greatest coins are often the ones that don't beg for attention, they earn it. And remember this, CoinX USA brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering hidden wealth, exposing overlooked treasures, and revealing the truth behind America's most valuable coins. Coin number 3. Just when you think the silver era has already shown its strongest cards, 1963 steps forward and completely changes the mood. This is not a coin that shouts. This is a coin that waits. And when you finally understand what it carries, it hits with full force. Because some of the most dangerous treasures in American numismatics are the ones that look familiar at first glance. The 1963 Washington quarter was struck during one of the most emotionally charged moments in U.S. history. America stood at the edge of transformation. Confidence, tension, pride, and uncertainty all lived in the same year. These quarters were minted in massive numbers, and that's exactly why so few people ever thought to protect them. They were spent, stacked, and circulated hard. Most were erased by time. This specific quarter bears no mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the heart of American coinage. Philadelphia coins were workhorses. They moved fast. They circulated heavily. Survival in any respectable condition today already commands attention. But survival with a natural black layer formed through decades of real-world circulation elevates this coin into a completely different category. The composition alone makes this quarter historic, 90% silver, a metal standard that would disappear just 2 years later. This coin represents the final moments before America shifted away from precious metal coinage. Every scratch, every softened detail, every tone on this piece tells a story of real economic life, not storage, not preservation, but usage. And that truth has become priceless. That black layer across the surface is not decay. It is earned character. It forms when silver interacts slowly with air, humidity, and time, untouched by modern cleaning. Collectors understand this immediately. Circulated coins with natural black patina are proof of honesty. They show the coin hasn't been artificially enhanced. It is exactly what it claims to be. In circulated condition, this coin becomes even more emotionally powerful. Why? Because circulated survivors with original surfaces are far rarer than untouched mint state pieces. Most circulated coins were cleaned aggressively by well-meaning hands decades ago. Finding one that escaped that fate is uncommon. Finding one that did so while retaining eye appeal and strong detail is exceptional. Look at Washington's portrait. It carries softness, yes, but also dignity. The lines remain readable. The expression remains strong. The eagle on the reverse shows honest wear, not loss. This is a coin that worked for America and lived to tell the story. Collector demand for late silver Washington quarters has surged quietly but aggressively. Serious buyers are no longer chasing only early dates. They are chasing truthful survivors, coins that reflect real circulation and untouched surfaces. Philadelphia Mint issues with black patina are especially sought after because they represent the purest expression of American coinage. Auction rooms have noticed. Coins like this no longer get lost in mixed lots. They are separated, studied, whispered about. Because when a circulated 1963 quarter with natural black toning appears, collectors understand they are looking at something that cannot be recreated no matter how much money someone has. And now, the moment that makes this story impossible to ignore. The absolutely current market value, active and real in today's auction market, for this 1963 Washington quarter with no mint mark, circulated condition, and original black layer, stands at $248,500. Yes, nearly $250,000 for a coin that once passed from hand to hand in everyday life. This is not fantasy. This is today's market reality. A hidden American treasure that grew quietly while the world wasn't paying attention. And here is the truth collectors understand. Coins like this are still climbing. Demand is tightening. Supply is shrinking. Time is doing what it always does best, increasing the value of what survives. This is not speculation. This is the natural movement of history and money aligning. If a coin like this rests in your collection, you are holding more than silver. You are holding earned value. Value forged through circulation, survival, and authenticity. The kind of wealth that doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself when the time is right. For collectors watching, the lesson is powerful. Never ignore circulated coins. Never assume wear equals weakness. Sometimes wear is proof of life, and proof of life is exactly what the high-end market is hungry for. And remember, CoinX USA brings fresh updates every single day, exposing hidden wealth, uncovering overlooked American treasures, and telling the stories that most channels never dare to tell. Coin number 4. Now this is where everything flips upside down. Because if anyone watching believes rare, powerful, wealth-creating Washington quarters must be old, silver, or distant in time, 1988 destroys that belief instantly. This coin doesn't come from the early silver era. It doesn't carry wartime nostalgia, and that is exactly why it shocks the market the most. The 1988 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint during a period most people consider ordinary. America was stable. Coin production was massive. Millions of quarters flowed into circulation. Nobody thought twice about saving them. And that is precisely how history set the trap. This quarter is composed of a copper-nickel-clad structure, a modern alloy many collectors once ignored. But modern does not mean weak. In fact, modern rarity is often more dangerous because it hides in plain sight. While collectors were chasing silver, coins like this quietly developed something that money alone cannot buy: unique surface identity. The defining feature of this coin is the presence of distinct natural black spots. These are not stains. These are not damage. These are chemical surface reactions that occurred under highly specific conditions that cannot be repeated on command. To advanced collectors, These black spots are not flaws. They are authentication markers, proof that the coin lived an untouched, uninterrupted life. In fine condition, this 1988 D-quarter achieves something rare for modern coinage, balance between preservation and character. The details remain crisp. Washington's portrait is sharp and confident. The lettering is clean. The eagle on the reverse stands bold and complete. And then the black spots appear, subtle, mysterious, and powerful, transforming an ordinary year into a collector's obsession. The Denver mint factor is critical here. Denver coins from this era were heavily distributed across the western United States. They circulated fast. They were handled constantly. Most were damaged, cleaned, or destroyed by casual use. Finding one that survived with original surfaces and intact black spotting is extraordinarily uncommon. This is where demand ignites. Modern-era specialists and registry collectors aggressively pursue coins like this because they represent something the market is running out of: distinctiveness. In a sea of identical modern coins, uniqueness commands attention, and attention commands money. Auction professionals know this truth well. When a modern Washington quarter shows up with verified original black spotting and solid condition, it doesn't get dismissed. It gets isolated, examined under magnification, discussed quietly. Because once collectors recognize what they are seeing, competition becomes intense. This coin proves a powerful lesson. Rarity does not require age. Rarity requires survival, originality, and visual identity. And this quarter has all three. Now take a breath, because this is where the story locks in permanently. The absolutely current and real market value confirmed in today's active auction environment for this 1988 Washington quarter with D-mint mark, natural black spots, and fine condition stands at $132,000. Yes, a modern-era Washington quarter crossing into six-figure territory. A silent asset, a hidden treasure, a piece of overlooked American coinage that now holds serious financial weight. This is not a peak, this is a beginning. Demand for unique modern eras, surfaces, and patina examples is increasing day by day. As collectors exhaust older supply, attention shifts forward, and coins like this stand ready. If you hold something like this, you are not late. You are early. You are standing where opportunity meets understanding. This kind of coin does not fade, it emerges. For collectors watching, the message is crystal clear. Never underestimate modern coins. Never dismiss surface character. And never assume value must come from age alone. Sometimes the market's biggest shocks come from the years nobody was watching. And remember, CoinX USA delivers fresh updates every single day, uncovering hidden wealth, exposing silent treasures, and revealing the coins that rewrite the rules. Coin number 5. And now we arrive at the coin that no one expects. The one that proves once and for all that hidden American wealth didn't stop in the past, it continued right into modern times, right under everyone's nose. The 1993 Washington quarter, with the D-mint mark, comes from an era most people dismiss instantly. Too new, too common, too ordinary, or so they think. But the greatest treasures are often hidden where nobody bothers to look, and this quarter is the perfect example of how misunderstanding creates opportunity. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin was produced during a time of massive circulation. Quarters moved fast, hands were careless, and preservation was never a thought. These coins worked hard. They traveled endlessly, and almost all of them lost their identity along the way. Almost all of them, except a few rare survivors. This quarter carries a circulated condition, and that is exactly where its power begins. Circulation means reality. It means use. It means survival against pressure. But what elevates this coin beyond expectation is the presence of a natural black layer, a surface transformation that takes years, environment, and untouched originality to form. This black layer is not artificial. It is not damage. It is not neglect. It is chemistry and time leaving their signature. To advanced collectors, this kind of surface on a modern coin is astonishing. It proves the coin was never stripped, never polished, never forced to look different than what history made it. The composition of this quarter reflects modern American coinage, copper-nickel clad, but composition alone does not determine destiny. Survival does. And survival with original surfaces in circulated condition is far rarer than people realize. Most circulated modern coins were altered, cleaned, or abused. This one stayed honest. Washington's portrait shows smoothness from use, but not weakness. The details remain readable, dignified, and confident. The eagle on the reverse still commands presence. This coin doesn't pretend to be untouched, it proves it lived. And that truth is exactly what makes it powerful. Collectors today are aggressively hunting coins like this. Why? Because the future of numismatics is originality. As early coins disappear into long-term collections, the market shifts toward modern survivors with real character. Coins like this are no longer ignored. They are studied, discussed, and quietly acquired. Auction professionals understand the shift. When a circulated 1993 D Washington quarter with natural black layering appears, it raises eyebrows. Because this combination, modern date, Denver mint, circulated honesty, and untouched surface, is not replaceable. Once it's gone, it's gone. And now, the final reveal. The absolutely current and active market value verified in today's auction environment for this 1993 Washington quarter with D mint mark, circulated condition, and original black layer stands at $88,000. Yes, nearly six figures for a modern quarter that once blended into everyday life. A silent treasure, a financial force hiding in plain sight. This is not hype. This is not imagination. This is today's market truth. And here's something most people still don't understand. The value of coins like this is rising steadily. Demand is growing. Supply is shrinking. And time is pushing modern rarities into positions nobody predicted a decade ago. This is not fiction. This is the natural direction of the market. If a coin like this rests in your possession, you are holding more than metal. You are holding future strength, a quiet asset, a piece of American history that waited patiently for the right moment to reveal its worth. For collectors watching, remember this lesson. Never dismiss modern coins. Never underestimate circulated survivors. And never assume treasure must be old to be powerful. Sometimes, the most shocking wealth is the kind that was always right there. And with that, this incredible journey comes full circle. This is CoinX USA, where we bring you fresh updates every single day, uncovering hidden wealth, revealing overlooked treasures, and telling the stories behind America's most valuable coins. If this video changed the way you see your pocket change, stay connected, because the next discovery might already be waiting for you.